What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite movies of 2009. This is part of a series I'm doing where I do my top 10 favorite movies of each year since I was born. And this week I'm on 2009 and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and get going. Coming in at number 10 is The Princess and the Frog. I absolutely love this movie, and this was one that when it came out I was not really super hyped for it. I thought it looked good, but I didn't really get as hyped for it and everything. In my teen years, I wasn't as big on Disney as I was Pixar and DreamWorks, so I wasn't as excited and stuff. But this movie turned out to be really, really great, and it's become one of my favorite Disney movies of recent years and everything. And it's one of my favorite of the revival era and everything. It's really, really good story. Tiana is a really lovable character, and there's a lot of other lovable side characters like, oh man, what is the little firefly's name? I love him, and then the alligator. I love both of them quite a bit, but it's got a really good cast of characters. Great villain with Dr. Facilier, I think is how you say his name. But he's a great villain, and it's got some great music and beautiful animation. So, The Princess and the Frog is number 10. And number 9 is Orphan. This is one of those movies that, when it came out, I had no interest in it. I didn't want to see it at all. And everything. My brother went to see it, and everything told me it was good. And I ended up watching it when he got it on DVD, and I was blown away by this movie. Like the twist at the end of this movie is freaking amazing. It's a really, really good twist. It's got some great performances, especially Isabelle Fuhrman, who plays Esther. She's really, really great, but Vera Farmiga is great in here too. And it keeps you on your edge and on the edge and everything. And if there's a movie that makes you not want to have children, this is a movie that makes you not want to adopt children. But I still love this movie. It's really, really good. It's got some pretty crazy stuff, and Esther is one of the creepiest horror movie quote unquote kids and everything. But this movie is really good. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it and everything. I'm not going to tell you what the twist is if you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going out and checking it out, because you're in for a good twist and a good time too. So Orphan is number 9, and number 8 is The Twilight Saga: New Moon. This is my favorite movie in the Twilight franchise. I like all the movies, to be honest with you. They're kind of comfort movies and stuff, because they helped me through a really bad time in my life, and everything. When these movies were first starting to come out and stuff, I was really sick, and watching the Twilight movies and reading the books and stuff, that was what kind of got me through the day and stuff. So they kind of helped me. So I kind of have a love and soft spot for that and everything. I do acknowledge they're not great movies. They are pretty corny. The acting is all over the place. Not the best, for sure. The dialogue is pretty bad, and it's not the best, but it's still a fun franchise. And New Moon is my favorite out of all of them. I've always really just loved this one the most and everything. For some reason, I don't know why, but it is one of my favorites for sure. So The Twilight Saga: New Moon is number 8, and number 7 is Fast and Furious. I really love this one. This is the 4th film in the Fast and Furious franchise and everything. And I've really enjoyed this one quite a bit. It's not one of my most favorites in the franchise, but it's one that I really enjoy. It was a really good return to form after Too Fast, Too Furious and Tokyo Drift kind of took the franchise in a different direction and everything. This brought back Paul Walker and Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster, and I really enjoyed this one, bringing all of them back and everything. And the Dom going after the people that killed Letty and stuff was a good story, and it's a good movie. It's not, like I said, not the best in the franchise, but it's definitely not the worst either. It's a good time, and I do feel like when most people say that Fast 5 was when the series started getting good again and everything, because it had, a lot of people agree that it slowed down for a little bit after the first one. But I personally don't think it was Fast Five. I think it was this movie that really got the franchise going again and everything, and it's a really good one. So Fast and Furious is number 7, and number 6 is Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. I absolutely love the Ice Age franchise, and this one is probably my favorite movie in the franchise. It's a really, really good one with really great voice cast. The story is so much fun when them going into this underground world where dinosaurs exist and everything. It's so much fun and everything. There's so many great moments in here throughout the movie, and some really laugh out loud moments. My favorite one being when they're in the scene with the laughing gas and they're trying to cross this thing and they're losing their minds laughing and stuff. It's a really, really funny scene. But there's a lot of really funny moments throughout the movie, and it's got a really fun, action-packed ending, and it's a really good entry in the franchise. Everything so it's easily on this list and everything. So Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs is number 6, and number 5 is Inglourious Bastards. I absolutely love this movie. This is one of Quentin Tarantino's absolute best movies. It's got some really, really great action, great Nazi scalping scenes, which are tons of fun to watch if you hate Nazis like I do. A lot of really great dialogue that you expect from Quentin Tarantino, and it's just a really good movie. I'll talk more about it sometime when I review it, but I've really enjoyed this one quite a bit, so it's number 5. And number 4 is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's one of the better entries in the Harry Potter franchise, which I love most of them, except for Goblet of Fire. But this movie is really good. I love, getting to see Voldemort's history, although I wish they would have showed all of what was in the book and everything. They left out so much of Voldemort's history, and they should have made this one at least 3 hours long and let us flesh out Voldemort a lot more, and I think that would have been a lot better for the whole franchise. But this movie is still pretty good. It's got some really fun moments. Some of my favorite moments are in this movie and everything. The cast are just a lot of fun in this one. There's a little bit more humor in this one than there were the previous movies, so it's a little bit more lighthearted while still being dark and everything. Slughorn is a welcome addition to the characters, and this is just a good movie. So Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is number 4, and number 3 is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's one of the better entries in the Harry Potter franchise, which I love most of them, except for Goblet of Fire. But this movie is really good. I love, getting to see Voldemort's history, although I wish they would have showed all of what was in the book and everything. They left out so much of Voldemort's history, and they should have made this one at least 3 hours long and let us flesh out Voldemort a lot more, and I think that would have been a lot better for the whole franchise. But this movie is still pretty good. It's got some really fun moments. Some of my favorite moments are in this movie and everything. The cast are just a lot of fun in this one. There's a little bit more humor in this one than there were the previous movies, so it's a little bit more lighthearted while still being dark and everything. Slughorn is a welcome addition to the characters, and this is just a good movie. So Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is number 4, and number 3 is World's Greatest Dad. This is one of Robin Williams' absolute best performances, and I honestly think that this was probably his last Oscar-worthy performance, the one that I would have loved to see him win an Oscar for, and he didn't even get nominated that year and everything. It was a good year for movies, and this movie got totally overlooked by the Oscars, and it was one of the best movies of the year for sure. Robin Williams is just absolutely amazing in this movie and everything, and it's got a really good supporting cast. Daryl Sabara from Spy Kids has a small role in here, but a very, very important role that is important to the story and the plot and everything. But he is totally different than he is in Spy Kids, and I still just can't believe what that dude does in this movie. It's a crazy movie. I can't talk about what happens in it because I don't want to cause triggers or anything for anybody, but there's some really crazy stuff that happens in this movie. It's a really dark comedy, so if you don't like dark comedies and you get triggered real easily over certain things, I would definitely go in cautious. But if you're not easily triggered or whatever, I would recommend watching it and everything. So, World's Greatest Dad is number 3, and number 2 is Up. This is one of Pixar's absolute best movies. I absolutely love this movie, and I have ever since it came out. It was a movie that I didn't expect to like as much as I did. It came out right after my grandpa died and everything, so it kind of hit me in an emotional chord and everything because of it being about an old man taking his house to a place where him and his late wife had always dreamed of going to. I don't know why. There's just something about that story that it's just a beautiful story and everything. It got me really emotional the first time I watched it. It still does every time I watch it. But those first 10 minutes are amazing. But the rest of the movie is good too. I know some people say that it's not really that good, but it is a good movie. It's way better than people say it is and everything. So it's number 2. And my number 1 favorite movie of 2009 is Funny People. This is one of my absolute favorite movies of the decade. It was one that I was highly anticipating because when I was in high school, I was really big into comedic actors and stuff, and this one had my two favorites at the time, Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen. So I was extremely excited for this movie. I don't really care for Seth Rogen anymore. I still love Adam Sandler and everything, but this movie is really good, and this is one of Seth Rogen's better performances too. He doesn't have a lot of range as an actor, but and everything, but this movie does show that he can be good in a serious role and everything, and he has gone on to do other more serious roles, but this one I think is his best because he's able to blend the seriousness with comedy and stuff because he's playing a comedian and everything. And same thing with Adam Sandler. Both of them are great in this movie, and I really love this one. So Funny People is number 1. If you want to hear my full thoughts on that movie, I did do a review for it not too long ago, so you could always check that out. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and thank y'all for watching. If you want, let me know your favorite movies of 2009. If you want to do your top 10 list, I'd love to see it. If not, just tell me your favorite. If you want, even tell me your least favorite too, if you want to. But 2009 was a good year for movies. Now, I know there were a lot that I left out, but I could only fit so much. You can only fit so many in a top 10. So, but yeah, this was a good year for movies. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite movie of 2009 is. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.